Hello everyone, you are watching ITV Gold. I'm your host Aditi Lama with cameraman Raja Bhatti, and today we're in New Jersey for Akshaya Patra's Gratitude Gala 2021. It's a beautiful foundation that feeds children of India, 1.8 million of them every single day, and it educates them as well. Beautiful organization. Today we are going to meet key members, we're going to meet key supporters, and we're going to also talk about the importance of giving back to our community back in India and the importance of really doing something for the underserved communities because they just need one chance and they need one opportunity. So Akshaya Patra provides that opportunity. Stay with us on ITV Gold as we bring you so much more on Akshaya Patra's Gratitude Gala 2021. All right, joining us are Amisha and Siddharth. They are the board for the young professionals here with Akshaya Patra. Guys, thank you so much for being with us on ITV Gold. I have to ask you, there's a push for more youth involvement into the Indian nonprofit world. Why do you think it's so important for the community over here, especially, to sort of get involved at an early age? And also, why are you supporting Akshaya Patra?
Thanks, that's a great question. Thanks for having us here. I think the most important part is our parents gave us this opportunity when we grew up from India coming over to America, and we just want to extend the same thing back to our Indian roots and giving the children back in India an opportunity to fulfill all of their dreams as much as we were able to fulfill our dreams in the United States.
Yeah, definitely. How does that feel for you? Why have you been supporting Akshaya Patra?
Well, for me, I know that so many people have invested in my education, and that's why I can do what I do today. And it's all by accident of birth, and we live in a world with a lot of unfortunate inequality. So to me, Akshaya Patra is really hitting the root cause of some of these things with food. And it's just a great mission and organization.
I love your view on how important do you think education is for true progress of a community, especially of young children. What is your take on that?
Well, I think it's education, honestly, is what allows not only your family, but generational opportunities for the rest of their lives. And you not only impact one kid and their life and their family, but their families to come forth, and I think ongoing generationally. So I think education just allows you to have better opportunities to healthcare, giving back to society, giving back to your own family, and also, I think the opportunity for everyone is to fulfill their own dreams to be who they can fully become. And if we were, as Sid mentioned, we were just born into opportunities that way. So there's all these other minds out there that are so strong and bright, but they never get to be fostered. So now we want to be able to foster their minds and let them be who they really are.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. And again, $20 covers a child's education for a whole year, right? How do you want the Indian and the South Asian youth to sort of help Akshaya Patra? What could be like the next few steps they can take even starting today?
So the main thing right now is engagement. What we want to do is build on the good work that our parents' generation has done through Akshaya Patra, building this whole infrastructure for fundraising. Right now, we need to make that sustainable, and we need the next generation to kind of step up and engage. We're just looking to get people involved, to know about the cause, to follow us on social media, make Akshaya Patra their charity on Amazon, Smile, these little things that will generate a much broader base that will one day become real donors and keep this organization going.
Definitely. Well, one message to our audience for supporting Akshaya Patra, what would you like to say?
Come out, join us, follow us on social media, set up your Amazon Smile account, and set it to Akshaya Patra. This is a great cause. It's a sustainable model. 58 kitchens service 20,000 schools. You kind of can't get better than that. And equality and education for young boys and young girls, and keeping them in school for a longer life and a longer period is our goal.
Definitely. What do you have to say?
What I have to say is we just don't know how many young minds are not flowering that could because they're hungry. So this is a huge opportunity, and we don't even know what the downstream impact is going to be, but it's going to be huge. I mean, you can see 1.8 million children a day is a lot.
And the goal is 5 million by 2025. Well, thank you so much for your time here on ITV Gold.
Thank you.
And joining us, everyone, right now is the chairman of Akshaya Patra, Mr. Sivaram. Thank you so much for giving us your time on ITV Gold. I have to ask you, you are the chairman for Akshaya Patra. Why is it so important to you for Akshaya Patra to prosper right now? What important aspects of Akshaya Patra do you wish to tell our audience about today?
So, Akshaya Patra, the simplicity of the mission is what's so appealing. No child goes to school hungry. We want to make sure they're educated. India is in a transition phase right now. Coming out of COVID, everywhere at the lower classes, hunger is growing. I was just talking to my wife today, who's volunteering in a kitchen in Bangalore today. And adoption orphanage centers numbers are growing. The number of kids that are coming in everywhere is just multiplying post-COVID. We want to make sure people realize how important it is that the work we do helps the children in India. It is something that you cannot take for granted. You can go with a good heart to say, hey, I want to do something. Akshaya Patra gives you that means. It's got the scale. 1.8 million children a day, that's the kind of scale. When you want to do it, you can make an impact. We want to grow. We want to make sure that is sustainable. We want to make sure that in the US, we grow in a grassroots fashion. We want to spread the word. We just don't want to be a centralized organization that just focuses on high net worth individuals. We want to reach across young people, people in schools coming up and saying, aha, here is a cause I can relate to. Yeah. I want to be able to go say, yes, I did something to feed the children of India. Yes, definitely. That's the grassroots growth is what I'm looking for, and I want to tell that to people.
Definitely. And you know, when we are talking about Akshaya Patra, a huge part of the organization is working with the government of India, because this is being run in government schools across the country. How has that relationship been, and how important is that relationship to sustain?
What the government does allows us to leverage. With $20, we can feed a child for a whole year. With $20. Imagine, why is that possible? It is because I get that levered with the government. For that $20, I get another $20 worth of rice and grains and dal, so that I can go back, make sure that the children are fed. The government also keeps us honest. As much as we say organization is growing, government puts standards out there. When you serve the meal, it has to be at least 65 degrees. When you serve the meal, it has to meet certain nutrition standards. We do that and exceed. When a meal is cooked, within 4 hours, we have to serve it at 65 degrees or better. That level of relationship between the government, the standard-setting bodies in the government, the cross-subsidies that we receive, allows us to scale.
That's so important, right? Because the whole point is to scale. Finally, my last question to you has to be, there are so many viewers watching you on ITV Gold today. You know, you're about to address the gala as well. How do you want people to help Akshaya Patra? What should be some of the next steps one can think about if they are watching this interview?
Only one thing I want to tell them. Akshaya Patra is actually fun. I want them to realize that this is a neighborhood-friendly organization. Yeah. You want to get your friends together at home. You want to get together, watch a gala, either streaming or live, and tell them that, hey, here is something that we can do together. Have a meal together. Talk about it. Together we can contribute. Yeah. In the end, we do want to do something. And the one thing I would strongly encourage everybody to do is, yes, we all make our trips back to India periodically. When you go there, make a visit to a kitchen and to a school. Your heart will melt. You walk into a school when the Akshaya Patra truck rolls in with the food and you serve those children, that light in their eye, you will never forget. So I am telling all the folks who are listening to, join a local chapter, wherever you are. Join a local Akshaya Patra chapter. You will get to meet friends. We have a common cause. We will also do good in the world.
I feel like it's a huge blessing to have gotten to the place I'm at today. I know that it would never have happened without, I always say, like, God's grace and a lot of hard work. And coming here and being able to, serve people and help further the mission of Akshaya Patra, which is beautiful, being able to give like, food to children around the world, their daily bread. Like that is something amazing. And I feel like, the whole world can learn from foundations such as these as examples. And so being here is just an amazing blessing. I always feel like, especially when it comes to performances for like philanthropic organizations, and I get to come and give back to the community and to people who are even less like privileged than I. And I feel like I wouldn't say even less privileged, because I feel like, my parents came to America as first generation immigrants. And so they worked, they worked themselves off to get us, me and my brother, to the place we are today. So I feel very, very privileged compared to a lot of people. And so being able to give back and help people in those situations is a full circle moment for me in every sense of the word. So I'm so blessed.
Sparsh, you are in Berkeley now and you've started school there. That's the next step for education for you. How important is then when you talk about education of children of India for you? If people are watching you right now, what kind of changes do you think education can make? Because you are a supporter.
Yeah. Wow, that's a big question. And what I would say is that I think with education, the biggest thing that we need to make sure is, first of all, I think that children have equal opportunities to succeed, right? And I think there are two ways to do it. The first way, right, is by making sure that no matter what their backgrounds are, right, they all have equal access to the tools and resources that children need to be successful in school. So, for example, like Akshaya Patra giving food, right? Free food to children in India, no matter who they are, right? Giving like the same, like, digital tools, the same curriculums, right? The same treatment by teachers. And I also feel like the second thing we can really do is make sure that every child has the ability to not only connect what they learn to their real lives and their visions and their dreams, but also, we can go beyond education and inspire people and show them, hey, look, okay, maybe you're learning calculus right now, or you're learning history, or you're learning science just because you had to take this course or you had to take this class. But, like if you're teaching a history class, we can inspire children to make history. Yeah. And if you're teaching science, we can inspire children to learn more about the world. If we're teaching literature, we can teach people to make their voices heard by putting out their stories. And with the arts, we can show people to express their creativity no matter where they're going to go in their lives. So I feel like those two things, right? I feel like those are the biggest things that we can do to make sure that, our children get the best education that they can, because they're our future and nothing less.
Well, I mean, if you want people to change the way they live, to change policies, it really comes from voting, right? And for people to vote better, they really need to be educated. They need to understand. So really everything comes from education. So I have 2 children, and I try my best to give them every opportunity. But there's so many millions of children in India that don't get any of those opportunities. And just with a little contribution, we can make a huge difference in India with all these people. So why not? I mean, it's like Starbucks coffee, something we don't even think of, can feed a child for multiple days in India, which is incredible.
Yeah, definitely. I have to ask you, we are at this gala and you are one of the chief guests. How does it feel to be here in that sense? What are you looking forward to? What are some of your expectations?
There's a lot of people here that are doing very successful and at home. And for these people to come here, to know about this organization, make more awareness about the issues, and to give their money, that is what we're here for. And also to celebrate what Akshaya Patra does. I'm here to entertain people and have fun. So, they've worked really hard and they're going to spend their money on a good cause. I'm here to congratulate them and make them laugh. And we're all going to have a really great time for a good cause.
Yes, while I have you here, I have to ask you about your life. How have things been? Pandemic was a huge, huge impact on all of us.
Yes.
How did you handle this with your family, and what has been going on post the pandemic for you, especially in the creative fields?
Yeah. So post pandemic or during pandemic, I really struggled. It was just me and my wife and our kids, and they shut down the schools. Similar to many people, we really had to do everything on our own. We didn't have very much support, so we were working very hard hours. There's also for actors like us, we can't work. We can't. So a lot of our income, a lot of our purpose in life is sort of gone. So I tried to really help other people. I tried to do awareness for COVID. We also did Metro Park a quarantine season, which made fun a little bit of light during a difficult time. And then going forward after the pandemic, really changed the way that I thought. We're trying to live for another day, saving so much money, trying to, do everything right for another day. Why aren't we have no idea what's going to happen in the future, so we should just live for today, be in the moment, really. And so I have really been doing that. I'm making more movies now. I'm making my own projects as well. So things are going well in that way.
In terms of these projects, what kind of content, is exciting you? What kind of, films or TV are you looking forward to do? Because you're open to both, right? And you're open to streaming as well.
Yeah, no, I'm open to everything. It's just, before I was all about trying to get work and trying to fit into someone else's vision. Now, as I've worked in this industry for so long, plus I'm from here, I have a really different perspective. And because India is becoming more global, the type of products that they want, they speak to not only Indian people sensibilities, but to a global sensibility. So I'm creating products that are uniquely Indian and American, and they speak to both and to a whole global audience. So I'm bringing something really fresh and new, not only about Americans going to India and how their lives are, but also the immigrants here and how their lives are.